Hello, my name is Doris Shivers, and I'm a part of the Grant Innovation Team here at Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools. I've been with the team for over 14 years, and I have over 25 years of experience working with grants. I'm here to talk to you about Financial Secretaries, the conference Fluent in Finance. This section will be on grant innovation. Grant Innovation Team supports all the learning communities, the district, and also working with community partners. We're a very small team of 2 currently, and again, my name is Doris Shivers, and I work with Central 1, Central 2, and the Southwest Learning Communities. My coworker, Rachel Joyce, works with Northeast, Southeast, and Northwest Learning Communities. On the screen, you will always see our email, which is a general email, grants@cms.k12.nc.us, and our main phone number. But the best way to reach us now that we're working remotely is through email. What is a grant? A grant is an award of funds, services, or materials given from one organization to another organization for a particular purpose. It's also an award or gift with specific requirements such as reports or any kind of outcomes or deliverables. It's like a contract between a grantor and a grantee. Grants are project specific and should be based on your needs, not your wants. And once you have been offered a grant or accept a grant, you must adhere to the guidelines based on the original grant proposal. Where does the grant money come from? There are several various sources: competitive grants, collaborative grants, and also entitlement grants. Competitive grants are those in which the applicant designs the project or proposal based on the funding agency, and they're ranked and they're reviewed, and you are competing with other organizations throughout the United States. Collaborative grants is funding in which the partnership or another organization or institution is submitting the application, and the district is not the lead applicant, but we are the partner. Entitlement grants are those that a lot of you are familiar with, such as Title I and Title II. And those are based on a formula, number of students, teachers, and other criteria. All of the grants that we work with in the district is based on CMS Strategic Plan 2024, What Matters Most. So our purpose is to build CMS capacity to secure and manage grant funding to advance the Strategic Plan 2024. And on the PowerPoint, you will see goals 1, 2, and 3. Every student graduates with meaningful employment or higher education opportunities. Every student has access to rich, diverse, and rigorous curriculum. In Goal 3, each student has access to more social and emotional support. The role of the Grant Innovation Team. This is some of our duties. We help you identify and inform the schools and departments and also the district about funding opportunities. We help you with grant development. We assist you with the CMS board approval process, in which I'll talk about that in another slide. We help you collaborate with community partners who want to partner with the district or with your school. We also provide professional development. So in the future, you will see more webinars and more training on how to write grants, how to manage grants. And again, we also help you with that grant management. Grant management support, as I mentioned, we help you, this is a list, but it's included, but it's not limited to, we help you coordinate grant management activities. We ensure you in full compliance with the grant requirements per the funding agency. We help you monitor your grant implementation and your spending. We serve as a liaison between the grant manager and the finance department to ensure proper fiscal management. We also help you review the interim, annual, and the final reports, and we assist you with any closeout procedures. So we're here to support you through the grant management process. The CMS board policy for grants, as I mentioned previously, CMS must approve all grant proposals competitive, which meaning that you are competing with others in the United States. Any competitive grant over $50,000, any competitive grant that requires $15,000 in kind or cash match. CMS board does not approve grant proposals under $50,000 and the ones that do not require a cash match. They do not approve collaborative grants where CMS is not the lead applicant. They also do not approve any kind of letters of intent that you may have to submit to the funding agency. In any grant that the CMS Foundation, PTA, or PTO, the board does not approve. Those entities are separate 501c3s and they have their own tax ID number. So this is the reason why CMS board does not approve those. What role do you play in grant management? Upon receipt, make sure that you send the budget office all the checks, any grant over $2,000 and above. Make sure you send a copy of the award letter, email, any correspondence that you have received from the funding agency. Schedule that initial meeting with the grant manager or the teacher in your school to review that budget and that timeline. Meet with them on a regular basis to make sure you are assisting them with monitoring their spending activity in Lawson. Provide any kind of budget documentation when it's time for them to do the annual or final reports, such as invoices, any purchase orders, any payroll reports. Now let's see what you know. Your school receives a check. If the check is under what dollar amount, would you deposit it into your school checking account? $2,000. If your check is over what dollar amount, would you send what to the budget office? If your check is over $1,999, you would send the check and all supporting documents to the budget office. Fund what fund with donations with no reporting requirements from the funder. You would see it on your Lawson report as 9, whatever your school code is, 880. The next, Fund 9 for grants, donations that require reporting from the funder. That is currently going to be under 884. If your PTA receives any checks, do they deposit those into your school checking account? Absolutely not. That is false. Now for some other questions, let's look at some grant purchases. Always follow purchasing guidelines for all your expenditures regarding the funding source. Absolutely, that's true. Amazon is an approved CMS vendor for purchase orders. At this present time, Amazon is not an approved vendor for CMS purchase orders. Grant funds are eligible for sales tax credit. That is absolutely true. You will see that reflected in your Lawson report after you make purchases through the grant. Grant purchase items are attached to your school, not the grant manager. Absolutely true. When your school receives a grant, it belongs to the school, not the grant manager. The grant manager can purchase items that are not listed in the original budget. Absolutely false. You must follow the guidelines provided by the funder and by the original budget that you submitted. If there are any changes that need to be made, you go to that funder and ask for approval. Key tips to remember. Always notify our team if you awarded a grant. Also, if you're seeking a grant, and also before you submit a grant, please contact our team. Follow, again, all the fiscal guidelines that go with your grant. Approve vendors, making sure you're spending according to the grant. Consult with that grant manager in your school. As I mentioned prior, you need to meet with them periodically to review their Lawson reports and make sure they are spending according to the grant. Again, make sure you're using all CMS approved vendors and monitor your spending based on that grant timeline. If you have any questions about grant development or about grant management, we're here to support you. Any questions that you may have, again, we're the Grant Innovation Team. We're located in the atrium on the 3rd floor, Suite 340. At the current time, we're all working remote, so you can reach us at grants@cms.k12.nc.us. And again, I'm Doris Shivers, a grant developer, and I also have a coworker, Rachelle Joyce, who's a grant developer. We're here to support all the grant needs for you and your schools, departments, and the entire district. Thank you.